Hello, everybody.
Hey guys.
Hello, Vineyard.
So
So,
right now in between us, we have a still of who we wanted to have as our special guest, Mike Edwards, with the very
uh,
flattering shot, and we were having a hard time figuring out the connection. So I'm gonna cut to that. Uh,
all
he,
right.
he's one of our expected guests. We were really excited about it. He's an apologist, author of the book Gravity. He's got a website too. What was his website, Dad?
His website is godevidencetruth.com, and it's a great website, and his book's really good. And he writes a lot of articles. He's got an article on faithwriters.com called Atheism Requires Faith in Miracles. And so he was choppy, and so we don't want to try and do a show with him choppy. He's out in Colorado right now. So we'll figure that out, and we'll try and get him back for next week, or we'll do a recording where we can get a really good, solid time and bring him on that way.
Yeah.
But we
Maybe
made
we'll
a
do
quick.
like an audio session. That might be better because I have a way
Yeah,
to
we did.
type in audio really well and reliably. So
Okay,
we'll definitely figure that out.
quick decision on the fly. Oh, so we could just bring him in audioly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
All
would
right,
be
maybe we'll have to do that in the future. I did apologize to Mike though, because he was all ready and he was taking his time and everything, and so wherever his is, he travels a lot, and he goes around and he does the stuff that he writes about. He has great discussions with people and leads a lot of people to Jesus. So he's a fascinating guy. So we'll definitely get him for you, but we're not going to do it in a way that is frustrating. So
it's a little choppy. Get out to the
yeah, it was
chopper.
too choppy. Well, that's okay. Hey, it's still I was looking. This is our sixth episode, so we're still working it out.
Sixth
So
episode.
it'll
Yes.
take sixth. I said it funny, but
It was episode. You said episode. You
I
sounded like Mike
I did so
Tyson there.
episode, and then I felt bad about it, and then I tried to cover it up. Thanks for pointing it out that I did that.
I do
So
that all the time.
yeah, I appreciate that.
It's my thing.
So I did have a couple of things that we can talk about. And we got plenty of stuff that we can chat about as we go on. So don't forget, outreaches are still happening. We had another great outreach today. I always want to thank the church whenever I get a chance to thank everybody. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for coming and helping and volunteering. We did bangers and mash today was our meal kit,
Bangers and
along with a lot of
mash.
produce and toilet paper and paper towel. And Alice and I actually had the bangers and mash tonight for dinner. It was delicious. It's a good old English meal. It's sausage and mashed potatoes. So there you go, with gravy and peas. It was really, really good. I recommend it. If you even if you didn't get the meal kit, you can go to hellovineyard.com and see the recipe. And all the recipes for all the meals we've done are on there. So, and some of them have videos, so that's cool. And
That's Chef Matt. He was the guest on episode 2 of Hello Vineyard, sort of
yeah,
one of the co-creators of the Hello Vineyard
yeah,
giveaway, and
yeah,
he's been doing awesome with that. So big shout
yeah.
out to Chef Matt.
Chef Matt, yes. And let's see what else is going on here. I wanted to remind everybody of the Zoom meetings happening. Those are going great. Great feedback from all of the Zoom meeting leaders. And we'll continue to get some more Zoom meeting going. And we're going to continue those, regardless of how the pandemic goes. Are you reading Matt Fox's comment?
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
nice. So
he's a funny guy.
yeah, I can put comments on the screen from Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching from those and you wanted to ask either one of us anything, or start a fight between the two of us, you're more than welcome to. We certainly argue. We haven't argued on camera yet, but
Well, you haven't said anything I needed to argue about yet, but that's okay. I'm sure it will come.
oh yeah,
We can work one up if we need to.
that's what gets the ratings in. Maybe
So the big
yeah,
arguments.
we're so concerned about the ratings. It sounds like cable
Yeah, yeah.
news.
The ratings. We got 10 people watching us right now. So I think the high point was last week was 20. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um, This coming Saturday for the outreach, the meal is going to be jerk chicken with yellow rice and black beans,
That's
and
a good one.
it'll be. I think it's going to be, if it works out, it'll be leg quarters. It'll be 4 leg quarters per package, so it should be a really nice meal. And looking forward to sharing that with everybody. And supplies again, and produce. The guys are going out to pick up produce, so we should have some nice fresh produce for everybody, and that'll be good. And I know some people still haven't heard. We have started meeting again in person at the church. We've met 3 weekends now. It's been great to get back. There are some guidelines in place. We don't like to call them rules because we don't, but we do call them guidelines. I
Rules
call
were
them the
made to
greater
be broken, right?
yeah I call them the greater love guidelines because it's on that verse, greater love has no one than this, because we have to follow these guidelines for the sake of others, and so that we can keep everybody safe. So you can go read the guidelines at vineyardresume.com. Um, we are so 3 weeks we've meet now, and we added services. There's 6 services. The first weekend we had about 100 people total, and then second weekend it was about 150, and this past weekend we were up to around 200. So slowly sort of growing back. The busiest, there's 6 services though, so a lot of those services are 5, 10
Th-
people.
this many.
Take Yeah.
Yeah,
The busiest.
you did this. I'm
Oh,
holding
sorry.
one hand. It's six
The
services.
six services. The busiest one. There you go. You can just do the finger if I do the 5. The busiest
Careful
service
now.
we had was was at 9:30, and last week we had 80 people in the room. It's a big room. Everybody was well spaced out. So, but we want people to make that decision when they're ready. Our thing has been with this: when you're ready, we're there, and we're being very safe. We're not doing food or coffee. Although this weekend the plan is to have the coffee wagon out in the parking lot so that you can get a cup of coffee.
Oh,
And
that might be a good story for the podcast. Is talk about the adventure with the coffee wagon, as you just called it.
oh
Like,
yeah,
how do we have a coffee wagon at the church? Like, what is
yeah.
it?
Well, it's actually it's a food truck, but we can use it for a coffee wagon. We also have an ice cream truck. There's a lot of things we can talk about that maybe people don't know. But anyway, I think they put that out there to get it ready, and hopefully this weekend you can get a cup of coffee, and we're slowly adjusting some things, but still being very, very careful. And then the other big news will be that the first weekend in June we'll get kids church going again, God willing. Lots of regulations, or like lots of guidelines, but there's ways to safely minister to the children. In our county, the daycares have stayed open. A lot of the daycares have been open and been full, so the kids have been in that environment, and they're still doing well. So we've asked them questions about how they're doing that, and we'll come up with some good guidelines, and hopefully we can start ministering to the children again. In the meantime, when the kids come, there's plenty of room between the rows right now. We give them craft kits, and they kind of hang out and play. So that's been going pretty good, I think. And we've done a lot of projects around the church here lately. Just looking forward to getting people back. I know we've tightened up a lot of electronics and stuff. We've been working on those things. We've done a lot of maintenance around the building, and so all those things have been really good. I also last week talked about the app. Don't forget, if you haven't downloaded the app on your phone or device, you should get it. It's Keys Vineyard is the name of the app. It's a good name.
Yeah,
And
it's very applicable if you are
it's at the
interested in
iTunes store
Keys Vineyard.
or on the Google Play, and you can get the app. So those things are there. And let's see, what else? What else we got to talk about? I'll talk about my sermon here a little bit, and you can talk about the worship set. But what else is going on?
Let's see. Alicia says Abby will be so happy that there will be kids' church.
Yes.
And that's good.
Yeah.
We just got a message from Carol Wesley. You remember Carol? I remember Carol. So
Hi,
glad to
Carol.
see
Yeah,
still
absolutely. Carol.
going on.
Scott, God bless you guys. Yeah,
I remember years ago, Scott hooked us up with a pool table in the youth room. So he's the one that taught me how to play billiards. So that was
nice.
Yeah. And then
Very nice.
Georgina asked this: do you have a favorite Hello Vineyard meal?
Uh, I really liked the bangers and mash, but that's going back to my English roots. So I kind of suggested that one
There was a.
for today.
I really liked the chicken and waffle casserole.
Uh, yeah,
That one was tasty too. So.
yeah. We haven't made that one yet because Alice is gluten free, and
Oh
so
yeah.
we
Well,
bought the
that's pretty glutinous.
we did buy the gluten free waffles, though we just haven't made that meal yet, so we need to get on that. And the chicken piccata meal was good.
Oh, that one was really
Um,
good. That was the creamy pasta dish.
yeah,
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 I enjoyed that one too. That probably would have been number two.
yeah. So sorry. Um, let me. I'm just. What else you got going on?
We finished up our AV room, and maybe I can pull in a picture into the stream if you give me a second. We're very prepared. We don't put anything in ahead of time. We do it all on the fly. But
Yeah, that's how we build the ratings.
that's
Listen,
how you do it. That's it. That's the only way to do it.
we're up to 11 now, so that's
Okay.
very exciting.
So yeah, I'm sending this to myself real quick. Send to.
Oh, you got pictures of the sound room?
Yeah, I got pictures of our sound room. I got a cool one. And I took
Uh,
one, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I took a cool one from the perspective of the AV room. And it's always kind of cool seeing what it looks like from inside the little production closet. So yeah, I'll load
yeah.
them
So
in. And
all right.
what
So
what have you been working on this week, Dad?
way to way to pass the ball back into
Well,
my
well,
court.
yeah, I'm throwing
Uh,
throwing some pictures in here.
well, let's see. I've been obviously working on my message, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. And the outreach. Chef Matt actually has is gone this week, so I've been sort of coordinating some of those things. Some of his folks have come up and helped still, and Fran and Jose have been a big help, but having to make sure all that stuff got ordered and done right and ready for today and ready for Saturday. So I've been coordinating those things. And, um, just various projects here and there that we keep doing. But the big one would be working on the message, so I can talk about that for a couple of minutes here, and while you get those pictures going. So just so you can prepare, kind of like gave you a heads up on the weekend. So this week I'm going to talk about the biblical view of time. In the overall thing, I'm talking about being a light. I'm talking about trusting God right now. And I said last week that God is for us, and we're kind of hanging out in Romans 8. And we'll kind of read some more in Romans 8 today, and or this week, and we finished at verse 31 of Romans 8 last week. We'll pick it up in 31, and we'll go through the end of 39. And the 39th verse says that basically nothing can separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus. And when you sort of get a hold of that God is for you and that nothing can separate you from His love, it really changes things. And I want to build some more foundation of that by talking about, as I said, the biblical perspective of time. And I don't want to give it all away, but one of the songs that they're going to sing this week, they sang last week, is called Cherry Blossoms. And one of the reasons I like it is to me, it's a song of winter giving way to spring. And that's really important. And I said in the message last week how suffering gives way to glory. Well, in the biblical view of time, God has done something fascinating that most of us don't get, in that the way He's ordered the days, if you go back in Genesis 1, verse 3 to 5, it says, and there was evening and there was morning the first day. And the day started with evening and ended in the morning was the second part. And we think no matter what, our clocks kind of tell us it starts at midnight. The new day starts then, but
Sure.
we don't believe that. We think day starts when we wake up. But the biblical view of time is that the day starts in the evening. And that's significant because, see, light always overcomes darkness, and God wants you to know that. Light always overcomes darkness. That's the sequence. Light overcomes darkness. Light overcomes darkness. And the reality is that every day you're kind of every time that you go to sleep and wake up, you're sort of reenacting the resurrection. And it was so important that God got that image into you, he makes it a daily thing. And so it's important the order of time. You have to sort of get a hold of it. The evening is the beginning, and then it's the day, because light always overcomes darkness. And there's once you sort of get a hold of that truth, then there's a whole lot of other scriptures that begin to make amazing sense. And we'll be talking about all those other verses this week. But that's kind of the beginning of it, that you get a hold of that idea. Light always overcomes darkness, and God set the day up that way. So
That's
that's what I've been working on.
that's awesome. I did get the no, I'm looking forward to hearing that message. I think it's cool. Yeah, because like we do just think, okay, well, my day starts first thing when I wake up, and yeah, then it's the dark kind of just happens at the end, then you go to sleep. But when we, view it night at the start, then you sleep, and then when you wake up, it's assuming you have a normal sleep at night,
Yeah.
live during the day kind of deal.
Right.
Some people are
Right.
up all night and then they sleep during the day, whatever. But we can always
Right.
kind of throw
Yeah. But
loopholes
the
into that.
normal
But that's
cycle, the
yeah, the normal
yeah,
cycle. Yes, that's a great
yeah,
image. So that was
yeah.
really good.
Good.
Um,
And when I tie in those verses, you're going to have it. So did you get some pictures ready for us?
I got this one quickly, so I'm just going to throw it over us, and that's kind of what the room looks like. It's a little dark, but the desk, and if I had a before picture, there was probably 8 times as many cables and 30 times as many screens on there. So
Right.
it was a big mess. So we really just sort of right-sized a lot of the equipment, and uh, whenever we do a project like that, there's always boxes of cables that I never bothered to get rid of when they stopped working. They just kind of stay put. So, word of advice is to just get rid of things that don't work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
move
Well,
it
we kind
move
of
it out of the way.
the thing is, see what happens is most of the time we're making changes because something isn't working,
Yeah,
and we're replacing it at the last second in a hurry. And so you don't do it right. You just make it work, and then
right.
everything that you just put in there is there, and everything that didn't work is still there as well.
Yeah.
So it's a big process. So Georgina had put
She
something in
has
here that
favorite John Wimber quote, and I believe one of them for me was, "You get paid the same whether you're on stage worshiping or cleaning the toilets." Something I might be paraphrasing a bit.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
one's a good
yeah.
perspective one.
In the kingdom, it's all the same. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I always liked we're changing God's pocket is one of my favorite, and He can spend me however He wants, and that's been a very powerful quote for me forever. And then she also asked if my talking about
Oh, here, I'll throw that on there.
does
Does that
does it
count
account
for
for
napping?
napping? Sort of mini resurrection, sure, why not? Yeah, yeah. So so that's very cool. Um,
Marilyn
so we
says,
like to,
"God's mercies are new each morning, but when I nap, it's a new morning." So, yeah, there
there
you
you
go.
go.
That's like a little soft reset.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So yeah, so that song Cherry Blossom we just did is really good. I like
Yeah.
that. I heard that in March when I was out in California before all this craziness happened, or it was at the very beginning of it. We actually traveled out to a conference, and
Oh, that was late February, early March, wasn't it?
it was early March,
Yeah. Now,
and there were when
when you were on the plane for that trip, were people like in masks? Like, how was the feeling traveling then?
hardly any back there. So that was like March 3rd or 4th. There were 2 or 3 cases in California that they were talking about. There were some cases up in Seattle. And so we heard about it, but it hadn't stopped things yet. On the plane, there was maybe 2 or 3 people that had masks. I hardly saw any masks. Most people were not wearing masks at that point in time,
Yeah.
and the plane was packed, and we were wiping things down. We took Lysol wipes with, and we were wiping down things, but but there you go. But that wasn't that long ago when you think about it, but it seems like forever ago.
I know that's, a little over 2 months ago. The whole world has
Yeah,
shifted a
I.
little bit.
It seems so much longer than that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So you're gonna do cherry blossoms for music. What else you guys gonna do?
And then we're doing the new Jesus Culture song we've done a few times called Gold. Pastor Angie's
Like
going to
it?
be leading that. And then Pastor Billy has an arrangement of Worthy of It All that he does a medley with Build My Life. So those are 2 great songs. And then we're gonna end with Nothing Else. The Cody Carnes song, I think, came out a few months ago. So that'll be a fun set this weekend.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Good. Certainly looking forward to that. So that's good. And let's see, what else have we got here? We were all set for Mike, so should have had a whole different set of notes.
Yeah. Well, we can always, well, we could talk sports, right? I've always wanted to be part of a sports broadcast. So,
Wait, Georgina's asking good questions here. Hang on.
okay,
So,
Georgina's the prepared one. So,
thank goodness. Yeah.
yeah.
So we talked about her in business meetings. She's always the most prepared one in the group. Which light point has most resonated with you? So I'm sure she's asking everybody on the list too. And so the light points are what? Love, implore, which is about pushing in, gather virtually, and then grace, hope, and trust. For me, I'm going to go with it's because I'm on it right now. We're looking about trusting God and how important that is for us to be able to just really trust, especially at times like always, but it becomes even more important at times like this. And knowing, there's a place of rest in knowing that God's going to get us through this. He's got us.
Right.
We have forever. It's going to be fine. So.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely that hope and trust. It's like, I'm looking forward to when they're like, okay, it's not a big deal anymore. Because, that day's going to come. It's kind of difficult in the process.
Sure. Yeah, it takes so long. Well, Jerry joined on. Hi, Jerry. Good to see her. And everybody else that's on. If we didn't say hi, I'm checking through here. I'm glad you guys are on. And we are looking at comments, so if you, Lisette liked the stuffed peppers. Those were good. We just did those again recently, so that's really good. Uh-huh. Oh, and Alicia, so Alicia's doing a count for me in Rome during Sundays, but she doesn't count the staff, and so well, they're there. They count. You have to count the staff. You get to count everybody in the room. So our count numbers are a little different, but we're pretty close to that because people still count even if they're staff.
Pastors round up to the nearest 100. That's right. That's how it works.
Yeah, some pastors round up even more than that. I really do try and keep a pretty good number on that, but that was pretty close. Those numbers have been pretty good. Ooh, and Jerry said they just had dinner, so that's good. And she liked the bangers and mash. Yeah, it was a good meal. And oh wow, Mike O'Brien says the most embarrassing church moment: singing the wrong words.
That's it. I've had way more embarrassing than that.
So have I. I have them embarrassing enough. I don't want to share them again.
We've had to delete YouTube and Facebook videos off of the internet.
Yeah, because before anybody could make them go viral. I talk a lot, right? So
Yeah.
when you talk that much, you're bound to slip up every now and again and say some things that you.
Several instances. I remember, when we usually do a service, we do a song, and then the kids come up, and then they do their thing, and then we do the rest of the songs. Well, there was a time where we did a song after the kids that we normally do first. So, we ended the second song, and then I went to redo the thing that I just did 5 minutes ago, bringing the kids up, kind of deal. So I was like, oh gosh. You just kind of, but you get so focused and you lose your mind and
you forget where you're at. Yeah, it happens. You get distracted or something and you forgot what you've said or lost your place. I've had that happen. I'm sure a lot of speakers have had that happen where I've completely lost I have no idea what I'm about to say next and you don't know what to do, so you just kind of work your way through that. But fortunately, after speaking for as many years I have, now most people wouldn't know when I've lost my place. I would just.
What does that mean?
It just means I would be acting like I knew where I was. You learn over time how to cover that stuff.
Oh yeah, you don't point it out. You point out other people's faults, but not your own, right? That's...
Yeah. Yeah. So there's lots of those. I have some very embarrassing times. I don't want to relive them all.
Yeah, no, it's painful. Some of them.
Sing and Mike said singing the wrong words. That's like, we
Oh
sing
yeah,
wrong words all the time. These are just new words.
well,
Or playing the
now
wrong.
there could be an instance where a word you sing is like really embarrassing, or something bad comes out that you didn't, like I'm trying to think of an example of a good one, but I'm drawing a blank. But there's been
Yeah.
times where there's the song "I Love Your Presence," and then we're kind of going off, and it ended up like I changed it to "I Need," and then it was "We Need," and then I was singing "We Need Your Presence," and I just kind of lost it. I had to
Uh,
end it premature. I was like, I can't.
uh,
So,
we
uh,
need. You couldn't handle the we need.
yeah, no, it's just those two words didn't melodically flow in a way that was appropriate.
No. Yeah, we have a. Mike O'Brien said Maywaker.
May.
Your coworker. I like it. Yeah. You have to be careful when you sing things like there's a song where you guys sing the masses. Tell it to the
Oh yeah,
masses.
that's
You have to be real careful that you get your distinction in there between
there.
the and masses.
There's the "Whom Have I But You." That's a classic Vineyard song.
Because
Somebody pointed
I
out
used
you'd
to
sing
get,
"But You."
I would sing, yeah, I got that used to, so I had to quit singing that song. Whom have I but, and then I get very careful. Now, you,
You,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you. That's really good. Matt Fox said he likes Romans 8:18. That's good. The pain that you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that's coming. See, it always gives way. That's always the just like suffering gives way to glory. Winter gives way to spring, night gives way to light. That's always the pattern. The Bible, when you read the Bible, it's got this. It ends on a really high point, and that's what you have to remember in that whole journey. So that's very good. Jerry just talked about the "But You" song, yeah. Carol said she liked it when I tell a joke and crack up. That still happens because I still think my jokes
That
are the
happens
funniest
on a
thing going.
weekly basis.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of those jokes that I'm the only one that I think are funny, and I don't understand how people can't be loving some of those jokes. I got a really good one for this week. No, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta come for the weekend services to hear your premiere bad jokes.
I was going to use this one. I got rid of this one already because I replaced it with something worse. You never see penguins in Great Britain because they're afraid of whales.
Wow, man, this show has devolved. We lost our guest.
Our guest didn't.
Oh, we had an awesome show. It was gonna be super deep, and then
Edwards, it's
he's
really
brilliant.
not good now.
Yeah.
He is brilliant.
Penguins are afraid of whales. Okay. Maybe now's the time for a word from our sponsors. The Hello Vineyard podcast is sponsored by Keys Vineyard Community Church, the one and only Vineyard Community Church in the Keys, located at mile marker 30-ish in Big Pine Key, Florida, with many weekend services available for you. Check us out online, on Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. And also, our other sponsor that you like to point out is the online BibleInstitute.org, Jesus Moment Bible Institute. All the Google search optimization keywords are there. You can go in absolutely for free, get a Bible degree. So, that I just came up with that slogan right there. I'm copywriting that. You can't have it.
Well, that's good. Make a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's how it
Georgina
works.
asks if I ever redo jokes. Yeah, but because most people, they're so bad, don't remember them. But I remember them. But, I have some that I redo every now and again because they're classics. The obvious favorite classic
Yeah,
is
the snowman. The snowman.
What did one snowman say to the other?
You smell carrots?
Yeah. I'm sorry. That could be the best joke ever told.
Oh, man.
There's nothing really better than that joke. So
Jerry's booing us, man.
I know. Mike O'Brien joined. He needs to be a guest some week. You need to line that up.
We'll definitely have Mike on the show.
Yeah, he would be a great guest to have. What I was going to say something else, and I forgot it because we were busy chat. Oh, well, so we're the only one now in the Vineyard, but the Keys. But do you know there's been we have started other churches in the Keys at different times that have had different runs, and so we had one in Marathon for a while, way back in the early '90s. I actually went up and started a church up there in 1991, maybe, and we were there for about a year and a half, and that was pretty good. And
And
then
that
lots of
would have
different
been before you were senior pastor of Big Pine.
the one in yeah, and then
Yeah.
when the senior pastor in Big Pine moved on, I took that. I couldn't do both. I tried to do both for a little while, but it didn't work. So I had to let the one that I'd started go. And then we've had a couple of different churches in Key West at different times, and so actually the last one went pretty good, but we shut that one down in about 2009, I think, and we
Has
had
it already
Pastor
been 11
Barry.
years?
Yeah, we had Pastor Barry and Pastor Fran both helped do that church plant for a while, and that went pretty well this season. And then we were in Key Largo for a number of years with a really good church. And but sometimes, little churches have seasons like that. I think it was our 6 or 7 years. That was with Dick Gilmore. And then when he moved, that church kind of stopped going. So there have been different vineyards around at different time. So that is good. And let's see. What else do we got?
Mason corrected our jokes. He said, I smell carrots too. Wasn't there like a part B of that joke?
There's a lot. It's like, why did the snowman get kicked out of Winn-Dixie?
Because he was
They caught him in the produce section picking his nose.
Picking his nose.
Yeah.
Picking his
Picking
nose.
his nose. Yeah. So, yeah. But those are Christmas time jokes. We actually made a coffee cup of that joke and gave it away one year.
I remember that coffee cup.
Yeah.
We had a couple versions of it, right?
Wait,
first.
I just wait. Hey, I'm standing up
my
because
gosh.
I have it.
He's got it right here. Look at that.
Look, here we go. Ta-da!
You smell carrots.
Can you see it?
Here, I'm gonna cut to you real quick if I can find you in this program. Here we go. So
there it is. Yeah, perfect. It's the perfect cup. All right.
Perfect cup that you use for pens and glasses and.
Yeah, well, because it doesn't. If you wash it, the sticker comes off.
That was the problem with that. So it's not really the perfect cup.
No, but it's a memento. Yeah. So that's really important.
Oh, look at this. Jerry says he still has that cup.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Jerry, my man. He knows a good cup when he sees one.
So does Mira Lynn.
Yeah, see? Oh, and Fran texted a picture. I know you can't see it, but of the bangers and mash that they made, so it looks good.
Let's see. If I have like 1 minute, I can move it over real quick. I wonder if I could.
He sent it to the staff. Pastor Steve, what does your sign by the window say? Oh, let me see. So it says, be grateful, eat more vegetables, help others, play outside, be present, smile, pay it forward. So Georgina asked me what my sign says. So that's what that one says.
Who got you that sign?
I don't know who got me that sign. I don't remember. I have signs all over the office. You can't see them all. But there's, yeah. And I can't move cameras around to show you anymore. But that was a good question. Oh, yeah, I've seen that joke. Matt just gave a bad joke. I actually had passed on that one. What's the worst thing about ancient history class? The teacher tends to babble on. I saw that actually very recently. Must have been on the same thing. And I was like, yeah, I can't use that one.
Yeah,
so,
the bad jokes circle around. Here's a picture of the Seneca's bangers and mash.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. I had 2 bangers when I ate mine. It was delicious.
Now, is that's an Italian sausage, right? Is that...
It's kind of a mild rope sausage, so okay. It's really good with the brown gravy.
Well, everything's good with brown gravy. I mean,
yeah, there's that. There's that. All right. Well, I think we've kept this going long enough.
Yes. Thank you so much for all the questions. We we're going to work on a way to get Mike Edwards, and that's going to be an amazing podcast. And looking for, we had awesome questions. He was ready to go, but the connection, it was not perfect, and we only want to do perfectly unprepared podcasts. So
Right. Yeah. Well, there's another. Let's see before you go. Favorite thing on my desk. I don't have that much on my desk. Just my laptops. I have a laptop and an iPad and another Microsoft Surface. Pictures of my family are kind of off on other shelves. Here, I have my coaster that Jesus loves you, but I'm his favorite.
And now, why don't you explain why that's funny or applicable?
Because I tell everybody that they're my favorite. But there's that. You might like this one too. Wait. Can you see that?
Hold it closer to the camera. I can see it's a dinosaur. It says, "I love you." This. Oh, it's a T-Rex. He has wee little arms. That one's kind of funny. I have a classic Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is the only one I have of these little bobblehead guys. But this is old Ben Kenobi from the original ones. Yeah. So that's the only fun thing. Right now my desk is a big mess, but because there's just a million cables. That's not fun.
No.
But that is.
All right. Well, we almost let these people go once, so let's let them go this time.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hit us up if you need anything. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, goodbye. Gibson says goodbye too. She's back in the chair.
I bet she does.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.